it's really not claiming that it's not what everybody says it is. And at first the whole beef, like the whole thing was like started behind this beef that he has with Trippie Redd, and Trippie Redd just kind of distanced himself from him because of the case, and then shit just got heated, and Trippie Redd started calling him a pedophile and all this other crazy nut shit. And then is that the basis of like their whole beef? Is that why they beef? That whole thing, bro. Like for the most part, and like just dumb miscellaneous IG shit. Like they're just both like really immature when it comes to shit like that. I fucks with both their music, and like I don't think they're like bitches by any means, but like the way that they act towards each other is super petty and stupid. But
right,
fucking as far as this case goes, how Tekashi explained it is that it happened before he was even famous, when he was like 17 going on 18. And keep those words in mind, 17 going on 18. So at the time where this happened, he was still 17 years old.
All right, let me get this straight, though. Wasn't the chick like 13?
The chick was 13. She lied about her age.
Which she's now, what does that make her now, 18? This was 5 years ago or something?
This was 4 years ago. It happened in 2014. So it makes her 17 now. Probably
I think
17
she's 18
going on
now.
18. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's 18. Her, Martha Gold.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Okay. But according to 6ix9ine, someone else from his clique had called her over, you know? And it wasn't even like Tekashi had nothing to do with it except the fact that when she came over, you know, like she started taking her clothes off and he recorded her. He didn't touch her. He didn't do anything sexual with her. She was in her bra and her underwear and all this other crazy shit. And apparently, like, everybody else was involved on a sexual level, I guess. Like, as far as
the chick
touching
said
her goes.
Last year when she was 17, she said, or she came clean this year about last year, but she said when she was 17, she had an ongoing relationship with this man.
Tekashi?
Yeah, that's what she claims.
That's what she claims?
Yeah.
How old was she again?
She was 17 apparently when it went down to it. She's coming clean now, apparently.
And saying that she lied about her age?
That's what I'm reading. You know what I mean? I don't know them. I don't know the story, but this is what's.
Well, as far as this goes, like if Shorty really lied about her age and all this other shit happened, then I don't necessarily think that like you can call Tekashi a pedophile. I mean, sure, it's definitely illegal. It's definitely like something that's like super, super intrusive and invasive, but as far as we know, when it comes to environments that Tekashi lives in, young girls are fast as fuck.
Yeah,
like we're not about to sit here and take that away from.
Oh,
like,
girl,
you feel me? Like,
chicks will try to pull a fast one on you.
Yeah, a female will lie about her age real fucking quick. I have never had a female lie about her age to me, like ever in fucking life. Like, so
I have.
You have?
I have. I've never been put in a situation like that, thank God.
Yeah.
But, God forbid. But, because it can happen. Like, I mean, there's, I would say 14-year-old chicks, 13-year-old chicks even, and it's crazy to say the fact, after he knew that she was 17, apparently. I mean, this is what I'm saying. I don't know. Okay,
so if Shorty is admitting right now that she lied about her age, then how mad at Tekashi can we really be? This is the same thing as when you talk about the Geneva Ayala case with XXXTentacion. You feel me? Like, it's so much.
Did she lie about it though?
There's a lot of speculation and like, I guess proof that she did lie about being pregnant, and that a lot of fans are saying that her injuries came from when she was jumped by two girls and tried to pin it on XXXTentacion. That she's her everyday nigga, 10-year-old. Let's be real here. A lot of dudes wouldn't be fucking saying anything. A lot of people wouldn't be saying anything. Because if we're gonna be real, bro, as wrong as people might want to say it is, I know a lot of 16-year-old girls who are into older men. You know, not because they want to be provocative, not because they want to be fast, not because of anything slutty or slut shaming or sexualizing like that. It's because that young boys do not fascinate them. And I'll go as far to say is that this is TV's fault, because I was talking about this with my girlfriend earlier today, that like you put fucking people who are 21 in Disney Channel shows claiming that they're 16, so people get this false sense of reality of who was like 21 and fuck the sick neighborhood, or things that your mom is gone 8 hours out of the day because she has to work. So if you're 6-year-old or you haven't gone to preschool yet, or if it's even the weekend, you're probably getting babysat, or have an older brother that is kind of not concerned about what you're doing unless you're safe. So all you really have is TV. You feel me?
Yeah.
A 6-year-old with a remote is pretty fucking dangerous. And it's not to say that that's the parent's fault. It's not to say that there's like at fault. I'm not saying that like parents are irresponsible. I'm saying that there's certain situations where a parent has to go get their fucking money and TV has to babysit their kid for a minute. You feel me?
Right.
Because I watched Baby Boy when I was 8 years old.
Nah, listen, I was watching crazy shit when I was fucking... My mom, I remember my mom was vacuuming the house on the other side of the house, and I was like 4 years old, and I was popping in like VHS tapes, and I popped in the wrong one. I popped in like, I think it was like Nightmare on Elm Street or some shit, you know what I mean?
Fucked your life up,
or like some Chucky shit, like Child's Play. Yo, I was 4 years old watching that shit. Yeah. Watching these motherfuckers run around and kill people, like that's crazy.
It is. It's
you know what I mean?
It can be psychologically.
That's not okay.
Distorting. Like, fucking. What are your thoughts on this, babe?
I want to say.
If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I zoned out.
Oh my god.
I started zoning back in when he started talking about movies.
Go ahead, North. What's your opinion on this?
Nah, you know it's crazy because about. But I'm 43 now. When I was 20, going on 21, I got locked up for that. And about somebody lying on their age. Mm-hmm. You know, and the crazy part about it was when you get these cases, you can't beat them. And that and it's crazy because I had the best lawyers and everything. It was crazy because she came to court, she told the truth in court. But the only thing that saved me was the story behind it. The story behind it is like, okay, and then they looking at her like, well, shit. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
There was like, we're not going to send you to jail. We're not going to try to put you on a list or some shit like that, you know. But you're going to be stuck with the charge. You know, so that was the hardest part about the whole situation. Well, the one thing about it is when it comes to, and you was touching on it about females and, you know, maturity levels and stuff like that. You know, when you take a little girl, because I have girls. Yeah. It's like, so like when you take a little girl, you take a little boy, you watch their characters even as kids. Females mature way faster. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if you ask them what do they want to eat. A female, a little girl, I lay out what she want to eat. A little boy be like, I don't know, playing with his truck. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, a little girl mature way fast. Like, they'll start having a conversation with you way before a little boy will start having a conversation. Sometimes you have a conversation with a little girl and forget how young they are. Like, shit. Like, you 5.
Right.
And having a full conversation with you. You know, so when it comes to that, like when it comes to most females, that's one of the reasons why they attracted to older men. Because first of all, they can't even have a conversation with a younger guy because he's not to that level that she is yet mentally. And you know,
if you think about it, if you live in a full parents household and have a daughter, only thing that a daughter is surrounded by is an older man, her father. So she's going to shape her image of a man around her dad,
around what she sees.
You feel me? Just like how I would shape my image of how I wanted to treat a woman around how my mama was being treated.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And base my image as a man based off of how my dad was treating my mom.
Right.
You feel me? So as far as Tekashi being a pedophile and this whole case, the biggest reason, and it's sad to say, is that people don't fucking like him. People want him to go to jail based off the fact that they think he's a trash rapper and he has rainbow hair and he represents the wrong shit. Why do you want someone like that to go to jail?
I think it depends on the situation.
At the end of the day, we're all people.
Yeah,
like, I don't want that man to suffer anything that he doesn't deserve. You know what I mean? He didn't cause. 2, just because he doesn't rap well. Like I always tell everybody, like, I might not like these dudes as rappers, but I don't wish bad on them. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to see this dude serving time sitting behind bars for some bullshit. But I mean, if he did it, that's one thing.
He deserves.
We don't know that. He does deserve that. He does deserve to suffer the consequences and the repercussions of his actions. But
Kobe Bryant got caught in the same shit. That bitch was 16,
and that's a whole different. That's the opposite way of looking at it, because like everybody loved Kobe.
Everybody loved Kobe.
Everybody loved Kobe.
When that shit happened to Kobe, it was
hard to take in.
How many people were calling Kobe a pedophile, bro?
Right. Thank you.
How many people were calling Kobe a pedophile?
You know the crazy part. Even when we talk about the females, it's reversed with the men. Like guys is the exact same way. Like I mean, but in reverse.
When I was 17, bro, I was fucking older bitches.
Yeah, I mean.
You feel me?
But the thing about it is,
none of those bitches got judged for fucking my little ass.
But the thing about it is, the older a guy get, he looks for younger females. Like I remember,
Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't want. I remember my grandfather told me one time. He said, "I don't want nothing old but money."
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah. No, that's
from the,
your grandfather was a smart man.
Yeah, it's reversed. Like so, it's reversed. Females look for older guys, and guys look for younger females.
It's really the truth.
I think to a certain degree, it's psychological.
It is.
And I've been seeing a lot of posts on even Facebook talking about how like, oh, a pedophile isn't just someone who's 40 touching a 9-year-old. It's also a 16-year-old dating a 23-year-old. Let's talk about age relativity.
Is it literally? Are they just saying it comes down to like if you're under 18 or over 18?
Basically, like how wrong is that really to when you think about morally?
Because that's the wrong title. Like people putting the wrong titles on it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that thing is just a law.
Yeah, like
that's just a law.
That's a law that we
like
made.
When you say pedophile, like you know what I'm saying, like when you use like certain stuff when you put, it's just like when you get locked up and you get a felony. You know, a felony comes with a bunch of charges.
Right.
It might only be something really petty that it should be called.
Right.
But they add all this dumb shit to it that makes it worse than what it is.
Like how stealing something could be considered grand larceny.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like so it's like it makes it worse than what it is. So when people look at like, oh, it's grand larceny, they're not looking at the petty.
This nigga a jewel thief.
Yeah, I mean they're not looking at it was petty theft.
Some other countries, it's not frowned upon.
It's not
right. Like the 18 thing doesn't exist.
Bro, my nigga, in the Middle East, my nigga, they have like 15-year-old wives, 5 of them. And nobody.
I was just gonna say multiple.
Yes, and nobody is saying anything. You feel me? I'm not gonna go over there and try and fuck up their culture or fuck up how they do shit over there because it works for them.
Right.
Culturally, religiously, that's what they do. And if a woman really has a problem with it, you know where you can come to. America. Become a refugee, get a green card, boom, we're done. If you really don't feel that. If you really don't agree with your culture, you feel me? But when we're talking about America and we're calling motherfuckers pedophiles, 16-year-old girls, I know them. I've seen and have been friends with some of these girls have purposely gone out and seeked older men.
Yeah,
and they still and society still puts it on the men's fault. And I guess to a degree you can be like, oh, it's a man's fault. You should be asking her ID. But let's talk about how many times
you got to be careful at it.
No, but that's why you can't be
careful.
That's why you can't beat it.
If you're in a 21,
that's why you can't beat the charge.
You can't fully trust that. You know what I mean? Because she could have a fake ID. She could
fake ID.
You don't know, bro. You got to be careful out here anymore.
Yeah.
Or you could
really got to be careful.
Or you could be famous as fuck and get in any fucking club you want at 16 years old and start dating someone who's old as shit.
That's another good point.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Tyga and Kylie Jenner, my nigga.
That's another good point.
You feel me? How many people called Tyga a fucking pedophile when Kylie was only...
How old were they?
I think Tyga was 24 and
but it's just this.
17.
It's just this kind. You know, our stuff is built off of the way we think about certain stuff is because of the laws. Because, like you said, in a different, it's the laws. Because you said if you live in a different country,
is with a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's not my business.
I think it's supposed to be like a 4-year gap or something like that.
5 years.
5 years.
Do you think most of these charges are come out the way they do? Do you think people want to press charges because of their parents, or do you think the women actually?
What are your thoughts
on that?
I think it's a parental
Hold up.
thing.
Parents can actually charge, like, go and that's what I'm looking for. They could argue that someone raped someone, statutory rape,
right?
If their child's not 18 yet,
and
the child can't say anything.
And the child can't say anything.
If the child consented and they still say no,
they could speak on behalf of the kid,
right? And that was the same. That was the same scenario that played out. It was the parent went and pressed the charges. The parents spoke and gave their story.
In your situation.
Yeah, they gave their story. But the thing about it is when I went to court.
And they knew nothing about it, probably.
Yeah, so when I went to court and they put her on the stand because once they got her on the stand and she told her story, now the judge is like, well, like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something totally different that was said because the parents said it. And then when the DA was trying to get her to stick to what was said, my lawyer like, nah, let her talk.
Because she had a different story.
Because she had the real story. Right. She had the real story. Then she said that I didn't say that.
See, that's where y'all it gets a little. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's not cool, bro.
You know, your parents can speak up on your behalf, and your parents are going to obviously exaggerate everything because they're worried about you and they care about you and whatever. You know what I mean? They're trying to protect you.
Listen, but bro, my mom was a health teacher, all right? I knew what sex was at 8 years old.
Your mom was a health teacher?
Yes, my mom was a health teacher. I knew what sex was at 8 years old. And being that informative about sex at 8 really, really like changed my perspective on shit.
Did she teach you in doses, or she just taught you everything she could right away?
I knew what a labia minora was at 11.
Shit.
Holy shit. Look at my face, bro. I'm not joking.
The connection.
Get connected.
Yeah, she definitely gave you the connection.
She educated the shit out of me. Yo. So when
did that scare you though?
No, bro. No. I did not care because
sometimes I think too much knowledge sometimes is dangerous.
He was.
I grew up with an older sister, you feel me? And I grew up in a very claustrophobic household. So sometimes I would have to see my mom or my sister naked. I'm like, all right, I'm seeing this shit. I'm curious about it. So I know what my mom does as a profession. So why don't I, as a logical
I'm surprised you don't have more kids, bro.
Bro, the reason I know what sex was at this young is the reason I don't have more kids. You feel me? Yep. Because I know now that a woman can get pregnant on her period. I know now that on a scientific level, women mature faster than men.
You can get pregnant on your period.
Exactly.
Or right after.
People don't realize that.
You can be pregnant and still get your period and not know you're pregnant.
Yeah. Boom.
That's a thing.
Right. It is. And the thing is, bro, is that socially, psychologically, and morally speaking, a lot of these laws are based off of bullshit. You feel me? And a lot of the people that break these laws don't see the shit as really a valid reason to go to jail because of science. Because science tells you one thing, but the law tells you a different thing.
Right.
Like the fact that a 16-year-old girl can't make her own sexual decision, but 2 years later she can go to the army and die for our country. It makes no sense.
It's a great point.
It makes no sense at all. You're telling me that you can't take the stand and tell the jury that this man is innocent because I chose to spread my legs, but 2 years later I can choose to go kill an Arabic person. It doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you should at 40 years old you should be fucking a 16-year-old or like that's not fucking okay. But if you're 21 years old and your girlfriend's 16 or 17, I'm not personally going to bat an eye at you because that bitch probably knows how old you are and probably doesn't give a fuck. Her parents probably like you.
But I will say, if I could say something to that dude, be careful.
Be careful, yeah.
Be very fucking
because
careful.
Because you should be responsible because these girls...
I'm not playing that card.
Word, fact.
I'm not.
I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm going to tell you straight up, if I was single and a young lady was approaching me like that, I would ask for her ID because not only am I risking my freedom, but I'm also risking this female's safety as well. You feel me? Because I know who the fuck I am, bro. I be smoking weed. I be doing some really wild shit sometimes. So let's say I put her in a situation. Not only do I have a 16-year-old girl in the car, boom, I get slapped with that. But then I get slapped with child endangerment or some dumb shit like that.
Yo, I even feel weird talking to an 18-year-old chick, even though it's legally okay.
Bro, my mom,
I feel some type of way about that.
My mom almost 60. My dad 52. You feel me? That's an 8-7 year difference at the most. But the law is 5 years.
No, I'm saying at that age, like 18. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a fuck if it's a 20-year difference when you're older, but I feel like when you're younger, it's a different.
Bro,
you know what I mean? Because of maturity.
If I'm 40 years old, I'm not even going to look at no 18-year-old bitch. You feel me? I'm trying.
Right.
I got a quick question.
You gonna? It's just the fucking.
Fuck a little 18-year-old bitch at 40, but I'm not
you gotta
marrying
deal
a
with
bitch.
as far as the fucking mentality, I don't care how mature they are. When you 40 and you dealing with an 18-year-old,
way more mature than that bitch.
oh my god, yeah.
But all I'm saying is like, it's like a double-edged sword. Like you can't sit here and call Tekashi 6ix9ine a pedophile, but then you feel me in the same breath completely just deny that this bitch lied about everything. Not even necessarily lied. She just admitted that she was not the age that she said she was. What's up, Craig?
Craig, what you want to say?
What's going on, man? Craig Lynch, full-time radio show. For the record, fuck trash rappers. I got a quick question, man.
What's good
with
with
the
you?
connection? Now, do you think that some of these young girls do this shit on purpose? Because, so check it out. I got a little... So my old roommate, man, my man Silva, was at a party. A girl was about 15, 16. She looked like she was about 30. She took his cell phone, put it down her pants, and said, "Go ahead, break the law." Now, how do you
break the
do
law?
you feel like she said, "Go ahead, break the law"? You won't. So it's like, how do you feel about the girls that do it like that? You feel me? How do you feel about the women and the young girls who do that?
I feel like those bitches
You got
is tricks.
me fucked up if you think I'm getting that phone. That phone's hers.
I feel like those.
Second it went down her pants, that phone's hers now.
I feel like those bitches is tricks, and I feel like those bitches want to just get some type of attention, and they might
know what's up,
and they might be a little bit mentally fucking ill. You feel me? You gotta really think about a girl's home life when she does certain like nasty shit like that, and you gotta think about a nigga's home life when he does certain nasty shit like that as well. Like, bro, I know a lot of the girls that I know that are promiscuous at 16, 17-year-old or even 14 at the youngest have been raped or molested by someone in their family, or have been told that they have no worth as a person in their mind or in their spirit. So they go and find their self-worth in sex. You feel me? And there are a lot of young men who are willing to take advantage of that. And there are also a lot of young men who are willing to nurture that out of the pure, like, caring of a person. You feel me?
Right.
But at the same time, like, a man has to be responsible for a man. You can't if you know that this bitch is however young, you can't, you have to by law.
Well, nowadays you have to know that you don't know that. You don't know.
Yeah.
You could run into somebody and you don't know the situation. So you got to be careful, man.
Yeah,
you got to
really
be
do.
careful, bro.
Every
I was just on vacay. I was on the beach, like I said last week, with a lot of my cousins. I'm the oldest cousin of 18 cousins. I have like 18 or 19 cousins.
Fucking old ass.
All my younger cousins, my
Look at
my
the gray in
female
his
cousins,
beard, Foreman.
Gray, and my beard is blonde. But all my younger female cousins, like some of them are 13, 14 years old, and they look like they're like 20. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And you're
it's
not even looking at
crazy.
them from a sexual aspect. You're looking at them
No,
like,
I'm looking
wow,
at them like I got to protect
developing.
all these girls out here. Like, this is crazy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, they're taking pictures of each other on the beach, and I'm like, God damn, like, I'm going to be fighting some dudes out here, like, in the next couple of years.
And,
like,
bro,
crazy.
if you look at the evolutionary change of people from the 40s to now, it's you can't sit there and deny that there has to be something in the water, something in the food.
It's the milk.
It's the milk that we're drinking.
The hormones in the milk. It's the hormones in the milk.
Not only that, bro, but like, look at social media, my nigga. Look at what social media and look at what the people are branding as role models, my nigga. Young ladies look up to Cardi B.
Everybody wants to be
right?
an Instagram model.
Talk that shit, man. The connection gotta have it talk that shit.
Even Nicki Minaj to a certain level, as much as a woman's woman as she is,
bro.
Because she is a smart businesswoman, she does get her shit on her own.
But that bitch what?
But, because nothing before the but matters. When there's a but in a sentence, it's always about what's after it.
You feel
the but.
Listen, bro.
But that bitch what?
But her ass though.
She bought that shit. She bought her whole body, bro.
How many times?
Yo, I'm not trying to like diss Nicki Minaj. I love Nicki Minaj for what she did for the culture, but have you seen a picture of Nicki? Google a picture of Nicki before the fame. You're gonna scare yourself.
And how many times have we seen Nicki Minaj in a business suit?
That shit, yeah.
How many times have we seen Nicki Minaj in a business suit? So if she's going to go on stage and talk about how a woman needs to be a woman and go to school and not rely on the man, we also need to talk about how a woman doesn't have to show her titties to get somewhere in the rap game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all of these things being perpetuated to young ladies mixed with their scientific and biological development is going to cause them to reach out to an older man. And an older man feeling and knowing his age and feeling like he's getting older, is going to want to be reminded of how youthful he can be. So he's going to and let's not sit here and deny biology. Men by biology are ravenous, sexual creatures. Are we not?
Yes.
Are humans not? Period.
I mean, women are too, but men, men
predominantly.
I mean, they say that. We think about it. What, every
I
7
think about
seconds on average,
all the time.
I mean,
Even
it's
when I'm
probably not
horny,
far
bro.
off from that. I don't know, man, but
you have to think about biology and shit like this, and you also have to think about Tekashi's image. Niggas don't want him to win. So if you automatically don't want a man to win, you're obviously going to side with his opposition.
I want everybody to win. I don't care. Like, just
and look at Tekashi's career, bro. How many beefs has he really started? One with Chief Keef. And only because Chief Keef is a fucking op to
I'll
him.
let you talk on that. I've never followed him. Never followed the dude in my life.
Bro.
So I don't really know much about him.
I've been following this man's career since before he's been famous. Since before he had rainbow hair and he was...
I heard about him in the last 6-7 months for the first time, and he just came out of nowhere,
That's
bro.
because he's only been popping for 6 or 7 months. But he's been doing this music shit since he was 18 years old. And his music is good. His music is very alternative. It's like how my mom was talking to me the other day. She was like X's music is like the heavy metal version for rap. And that's exactly what Tekashi 6ix9ine's music is, or Waka Flocka's, you can even argue.
But X was really promoting, he was trying to let people know, you're not alone, you're fucked up.
Tekashi does the same thing, bro.
And I don't know. Maybe
Tekashi
I can't
does
speak.
the same thing.
You know what? I'm never going to be that person that speaks on something I don't know, but I will say, from the shit I have heard, the small amount of shit that I heard from him, he didn't really seem like he was doing anything for the youth, for anything, for the culture.
Watch the music video for his song Gotti, bro. He literally goes to the Dominican Republic and gives out thousands of dollars to the poor and impoverished
I saw that.
people.
No, I saw that.
Me?
I saw that.
And that's not for the camera,
And that's
bro.
what's up.
He's been doing that
That's
since
what's up.
before he got famous. He's been doing that for a minute.
That. I respect that.
And every time people interview him, he tells the youth, yo, look at me. Look at what they tried to do to my career. They tried to sink my shit. Now and now look at where I'm at in hip hop. You can do this shit just as much as I have done this shit and be better than me. You feel me? So we can look at his Instagram and be like he's a cocky kid from New York, but everybody from New York is cocky.
But
as
he's
fuck.
basically, when he says that, he's basically telling people you can act crazy while out and do crazy shit, talk about violence and promote the wrong shit out there, and then make it.
I mean,
is that okay?
I guess you could flip that coin and say that he's
you're raising
violence.
a son. Tell me how you feel. Do you want your son listening to gang related shit?
No, bro. And
I'm
gang and I'm blood affiliated, and I don't want my son nowhere near that shit.
Right.
Nowhere near that shit. But if someone come up to me and come up to my son and be like, "Oh, look at your little baby blood," I'm not going to sit there and be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." You feel me? Because on some street shit, that's what my son is. You feel me? If I'm a blood affiliate and I have a son, that's what they're going to call him. They're going to call him a baby blood. They're going to call him a baby teardrop. You feel me? So on one hand, I can't sit here and deny what my claim is, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and tell my son to go join Brim or tell my son to go join Paru.
Yeah, you want to your whole goal should be to get him as far away from that as possible.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you could argue and say that because of 6ix9ine's street shit, he does glorify.
Anytime you talk about something, you're putting it back into the world. You know what I mean? It always comes back full circle.
And bro, if you look at his career, he really, really does gangbang, bro. He has been a 9 Trey blood for years, and
I can't attest to it. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
A lot of niggas try and get him for that shit too, but look at what has he been shot for it? Has anyone G-checked him? Has anyone? You feel me? Has anyone has anyone tried to come out and say he's not what he is? One person.
A lot of people have done that. No, the game. Who else? And I know that's on some blood shit because the game is a blood. You know what I mean?
But Tekashi 6ix9ine been gang banging longer than the game has. The game started gang banging at 21, bro. And he 40 something.
I don't know about that.
So probably because he's
the
older.
game's been
he's
I don't know about all that.
But Tekashi 6ix9ine has been gang banging.
Game's been rapping about hopping out of Astro vans for the last 15 years. Game's on some shit.
There's even speculation that the Game used to be a Crip before he became a Blood, and that's not even allowed.
Nah,
bro.
he
That's not.
I think
we don't let that shit happen.
His brother was a Blood.
Nah, his
brother was a Crip.
His dad was a Crip, and his mom was a Blood.
Yeah, he had like his family was split.
But
like,
that's you can't even really say shit about that because the Game was born back in like the 80s when shit started being divided. So like,
and he said his route. I remember him like rapping a verse, and he said like his route to school was like through like Crip territory. So he had to have like affiliates to like stay alive.
Yeah, he good with
like,
Crips.
Yeah.
Grape Street niggas don't want no smoke.
And I mean, he obviously shows mad love to Snoop. You know what I mean, Uncle Snoop.
He said when he said in one song with Tyler the Creator, he was like, when I'm with Snoop, I'm a Crip too. He said, fuck it.
Right.
And nobody has G-checked him on that. And that's what's unfair because...
And I will Crip Weezy, Crip Jones, and Crip you.
You feel me? He said Crip Jones. He talking about Jim Jones.
Right.
Ever since Jim Jones came out, bro, everybody wanted to be a Blood, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be a Billy nigga.
And the Game, yeah.
You feel me?
Yep.
And if the Game can say that, why can't Tekashi 6ix9ine?
But that's exactly my point.
Bandana?
I've always had like leader blood in me. I've never been a follower, never looked at anybody else like I want to be that because he's that.
Yeah. A lower middle class neighborhood, good parenting.
A positive message.
This man pled guilty to this charge is because he was poor as fuck. He only really they gave him a deal. They said like if you take this case, then you'll get like a lesser like conviction and you won't have to be listed as a sex offender. And he at the time he ain't have no money. So he was like, all right, let me get a public defender. I'll plead guilty and we'll see where it goes. You feel me? And this case has been going on for years. He's just now being convicted for it because
if he didn't do anything, I hope he's all right and I hope he gets off that.
He pled guilty, bro. He pled guilty due to the fact that he didn't have enough money to fight it at the time. And it's been years and years and years going on, and the judge...
Yeah, he pled guilty, entered a guilty plea in February 2016. A felony charge of possessing a sexual performance by a child after he filmed and posted a video of friends groping and having sexual contact with a 13-year-old girl in February 2015.
Now...
Holy shit, that's more than I thought.
Yeah. Now, tell me anywhere in that statement does it say that he touched that
6ix9ine was 17 at the time of the filming and 18 when he pled guilty.
He was 17. He was 17 at the time of the filming. The girl said she was 17 and then lied about her age and said that was 13. The only thing that he did wrong is put her on video.
No, that was two different people,
the chick
wasn't
went
it?
public with her account and posted several videos of her on her Instagram account featuring herself and Tekashi 6ix9ine.
And Shorty willingly went there. She willingly went there and said, I'm about to get down with all of these niggas who I know are older than me, so I'm going to lie about my
anybody
age.
see how she looked? Because at 13, god damn.
I'm trying to pull up pics right now. I
need to see. Does she look like?
I need to see this chick.
I don't
because a chick at 16.
Because what?
You can say, she looked a little older.
I'm gonna tell you. If I look at her, I'm gonna tell you she's fooling me right now.
Yeah, let's see what.
I'm trying to see what she looks like.
You can't really fool me at 13.
What are your thoughts on this, babe?
I mean, I don't really know because I don't know anyone who's ever lied about their age to a guy, but I think
you lied about your age.
I never have.
She never.
No.
As long as I've known her, she's never lied about her
have.
age ever in her life.
Reason to.
Yeah, right. It's just not cool.
Yeah, guys don't care anyway.
Does that mean that I haven't been with?
Might as well tell the truth.
You feel me? Facts. Facts.
I think at some point every female lies about their age.
I don't think so, bro. I know some girls who have.
No, a lot of them wait till they get older and then lie.
Yeah, facts. Bitches turn 30 and be like, "Oh, I'm 23."
Women lie, men lie.
Word, facts. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think we can really brand Tekashi as a pedophile. But
I don't think I have enough cold hard facts. I'm just reading what I see. You know what I mean? They say believe.
He could be facing like 1 to 3 years for this shit.
Right. Believe nothing of what you hear and half of what you see. So
facts.
I don't know if I want to believe it.
But
I don't know the dude.
I think this is a good segue into our next topic, which is gang culture. And I wish I had a guest to talk about this, but I guess I don't. So I'm just gonna lead this. I think gang culture and hip hop is like super, super dope, but also at the same time like super, super destructive if you spin it in the wrong way. Like Kendrick Lamar is one of the biggest, if not the biggest artist in the hip hop world, and is part of Sex Money Murder. Like that shit is.
He's just. But see, let me tell you why I can respect that. I respect if you're telling me a story about what the environment that you're in.
He said this Paru shit been in me forever.
Right, but he's also preaching. If you listen to every word, his message is always get out of this shit or get away from it.
Yeah.
Or this is what goes on, and he paints a perfect picture of how fucked up it is.
Yeah, he does.
So it makes someone like me listen to it and say, I don't ever want to be in that.
It just trips me
You know
out
what I mean?
that he's like a Malcolm X type nigga, and then like when you watch like certain documentaries about him and his neighborhood, all he's surrounded by is gangbangers.
And goddamn, bro, not to like fuck this up, but I just looked up a picture of what's her name, Martha Gold.
Yeah, let me see what Shorty look like.
Holy shit, bro.
Let me see what Shorty
She's
look
got me fucked up.
me
She's
see
got me fucked up. I'm like,
Oh hell no!
Right?
Look at what she looked like, bro.
wow. I'm having her come through.
But when was it? Like that's the whole thing. That's probably now. This is years
Facts.
later.
Yo, I feel bad for my fans.
That's years later though.
I feel bad.
Bruh, you feel me?
I want to know what she looked right.
I want to know
I
what she
wanna know
looks
what
like
she
at
look like.
13.
13, 15.
Like
yeah.
fuck how she look right
Cause
now.
what she look like
Holy
now, she
shit.
look 22, my
She
nigga.
looked.
Yeah,
She looks
she's
like
grown now.
27, 28.
You
Bro.
feel
Yeah,
me?
she's
That's
grown.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Show me at 13.
Holy shit!
That shit is nuts. But nah,
I'll smack the shit out of someone.
I think Kendrick Lamar is
Shit.
like the best depiction of how to take gang culture and like flip it to something positive. Because even in DNA, he was like sex, money, murder, our DNA. You feel me? Like he
Right.
repped his shit in that song.
Right.
But that whole song is full of knowledge and wisdom and
It's
and-
right, and he's putting that knowledge on you. He's spitting game. He's teaching these young
Yeah.
kids like you don't want to be part of this. I'm painting a
Facts.
picture. I'm trying to scare the fuck out of you in
But
this verse. I'm gonna scare you.
He said,
you know what I mean?
He said,
He's not glorifying it. He's not glorifying it. Like these other rappers talk about the same. People wonder why. Like I'll side with Kendrick and I won't side with
Trippie Redd or Tekashi or
whatever. Like talking about the same shit, but that's because they're glorifying it. They're
Yeah.
acting like it's cool. Kendrick's not saying it's cool. He's saying this is the fucked up, and he paints a perfect picture every
But-
time.
But you gotta understand that Kendrick never really even officially got jumped in or blessed
Nah,
into
he
his
wasn't.
shit.
He wasn't.
was just around that shit all
He's
the time.
just a really like streetwise, like Nas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's a
But
poet, man.
You gotta remember, it's a different. Even if you hang out
When
with
you
these
listen to their
niggas-
music, you feel like you're going through it,
yeah,
and you realize how
definitely
fucked up
agree
it
with that.
is.
But you
we need
gotta
more artists like that.
you gotta understand the reality, bro. It's a different. It's a difference from hanging out with these niggas and then being full fledged into it. You feel me? Like,
I guess, but
but even still, if you're full fledged into it or just hanging out with these dudes, you should find a way to not glorify it and just teach people that this is not what you want to do. This is something that I had to do. This
I
doesn't
kinda
have to
feel
be
like,
your future.
Yeah, but I can argue honestly. I kind of feel like the game. Would you say the game?
He
And I'm a huge game
He
fan.
glorifies it and teaches wisdom.
He
on it.
kind of right, but he still teaches. I don't think he glorifies it. He just. I feel like if you really, really go through it, and I'm not trying to. I don't know these people's history. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say they're not from the streets. I'm not.
When's the last time you
But-
heard Snoop Dogg say some shit about Crip?
If you're really from the streets and you really went through it, I feel like you would try to get out. You know how kids today glorify that shit and they want to be all street and be in the streets?
Yeah.
People that are in the streets are trying to get the fuck out of the streets.
Word. Vince
So
Staples
like
said
if
the
you're
same thing.
talking about if you're I feel like when you're glorifying it, you're just proving that you don't know a goddamn thing about what you're talking about and you just want to be part of something you don't really know fully.
Bro, hardly any Crip niggas I know like talking about being a Crip.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro.
You feel me? Vince
Why
Staples.
would you talk about something that you know is fucked up? Why would you glorify
When's the
something
last
that
time
you're
you heard
trying to
Snoop
get
Dogg
away
talk
from?
about being a Crip?
It doesn't make sense.
When's the last time you even
That just
heard
goes to
Vince
show
Staples talk about it?
how fucking like how many frauds we got in this industry. It's fake, bro.
Bro, Vince Staples said it himself. He was like, yo, gangbanging niggas in reality are not off that killer nigga, sell crack to my mom shit.
No.
I'm trying to see how much money I can get for this Honda Civic so I can make it to fucking my GED program and get the fuck out of here.
Right.
You feel me? I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
Yo, you motherfuckers are not fooling me at all. At all.
That's why like around my old area in Egg Harbor Township and shit like that, I don't believe any of these little niggas that are coming up saying that they part of some gang, bro. Because
You're-
I know OGs, bro. I
Right.
know OGs, and
So do
none
I.
of these niggas would come up to my OGs and claim that shit in front of them because they would get their ass whooped.
Right.
You feel me? Because they don't know their history, they don't know what they really banging, and they don't know their own. They don't even know their own signs, bro.
Yo, when you start,
Like-
you're not gang banging when This is about as street affiliated as they are. They sell some weed and they think they're fucking gangbanging.
Bro,
all of a sudden,
they
think
they
know the
a
streets.
15-year-old boy.
Come on, bro.
You feel me? I've been selling weed and been blood affiliated since I was a 15-year-old boy, and not one of the bloods I met have told me to get jumped in because they don't want me to.
I've met some official people in my life, and I'm talking a real official, and I'm not going to incriminate them or drop their names, but I've met some real official people that I've turned down shit from. They've asked me to be affiliated with their. I'm not going to say, but yeah, like that is street. But they're not bragging about it, talking about it. They won't ever talk about it.
It's not the way to move.
They don't brag. It's not the way to move.
Lil Wayne said it best, bro. He
Real
said,
G's move in silence.
like lasagna, nigga.
That's exactly
lasagna,
facts.
Nigga.
That's
and
it.
these young niggas, they publicize this shit and they glorify this shit. And one part of it is from a street level, because if you get affiliated into a gang, bro, it's an obligation to be like if my man's was talking to me about it like 2 weeks ago, he was like, bro, even if a police officer come up to me and asks when I'm banging, I have to, just because it's based off the tenets and the rules that we go by. We not going to let somebody say that we not this when we know that we are. You feel me? It's just because we have something to prove as said set. And I looked at him and I was like, I completely understand where you're coming from. And I just want to state that, like, the only reason... Exactly. I feel like when it comes to, like,
that's
street
a gangster
gangs,
to me.
I feel like when it comes to street gangs, the reason that they solidify it and publish and clap up Nipsey Hussle. You feel me? You can be Vince Staples and clap who's a West Side pop. Like, damn,
that's wild.
You feel me? Like, I didn't really.
You know, right now I kind of feel
the whole point of this show. We made the show to get up here and let people know they're not alone. Think about all the people out there that may actually relate to what you're about to say.
True.
Actually, fact, there's 6.2 million people in the U.S., men and women, that suffer from bulimia.
Men and women.
Men and women.
That's crazy.
I think it's like
6.2 million in the U.S.
Yeah, there's like for women, I think it's 4.7, and for men, it's 1.5 million.
Wow.
So yeah, it's definitely something that's common.
And can you explain what bulimia is for anybody that doesn't know? Anybody listening right now that doesn't know what it is?
A lot of people get it mixed up with like anorexia.
Exactly. That's why I said it.
Okay, so bulimia nervosa is when you try and expel food from your body any way possible. You can either eat and make yourself throw up immediately after. You can take a bunch of laxatives, and then anorexia nervosa is where you just don't eat and you restrict yourself from eating. And I think sometimes both they go hand in hand, because even if you're bulimic, you still resist eating sometimes because no one likes the feeling of throwing up.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's where the anorexia comes in.
Yeah.
And what is the constant thought that you're battling in your head? Like, you feel like you're
that like you're trying to feel empty.
Okay.
So like, yeah, I don't know.
So
is it because of a feeling like
a self
people that are anorexic, like I guess they're not happy with who they are, maybe they feel like overweight, or like, is that the thought? Like, is it a similar thought to that? Or
well, for me it was like not liking myself, not only the way that I looked but the way that I was, and I just wanted to disappear completely. So yeah.
So
wow.
So for your experience, you would define bulimia as like self-harm almost.
Yeah, in a way.
Like you were trying to, because bulimia can kill you, bro.
It can, because I was just thinking, like people need food for survival. You know, there's only so long you can survive off of water.
And when you start throwing up, it fucks up your throat lining and your stomach lining.
You're not supposed to throw up that frequently.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it can make your stomach burst open from lack of lining in it, and then you just melt from the inside out. Like, it's really fucked up, you know. And I've dated and met women who have suffered from both bulimia and anorexia at the same time, and like Kayla said, it can go hand in hand, because once you start throwing up that much, it kind of becomes strenuous and you don't want to eat anymore, and then it becomes a self-image problem.
You kind of get addicted to that?
Do you think it's definitely an addiction?
Definitely.
Yeah.
In some sense of the word. I
think it can definitely be an addiction because of the fact that it is a self-harm aspect, and I think when you define bulimia as self-harm, that's when the addictive traits start to become very, very noticeable. Because when I started hurting myself, when I started cutting myself and dealing with that, it became almost more addicting than when I was doing heroin, you know. I've cut myself and done heroin in the same week, and I can literally tell you now, right here, honestly, that cutting myself felt way better.
I think it's like 30 to 70% of people who have bulimia also have addictive disorders.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it?
30 to 70%.
30 to 70.
That's such a weird ratio.
It's a big jump.
That's a huge gap.
Do you think, I mean, I'm sure everybody has their own personal experiences, but do you think your situation, I mean, you can only speak for yourself. Do you think it was more like psychological? Do you think it was social?
I think it was definitely a mix of both.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you think it was social?
Because I cared what I looked like in other people's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard thing to live with when you're trying to fill the shoes to please others. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it was also more, I wanted to be able to look at myself in the mirror, and I couldn't, and if I couldn't, I didn't think other people could either.
Right. And do you think anybody in your early life led you to feel that way by putting you down or saying anything that may have led to it? Because I'm
uncomfortable throughout the entire thing, but
that's
both, and snitch on them or like out their names, but I know a girl who deals with body dysmorphia, and body dysmorphia is fucked.
Explain
bro.
that. Do you have the politically correct definition?
I don't have the politically correct definition, but the way that this person explained it to me, she excuse me, she said that when she looked in the mirror, she didn't see herself. She literally saw a monster, like a different form of herself that was super ugly. Pimples,
and what's it called again?
Body dysmorphia.
Shit.
She literally looked in the mirror, and it was like a bad acid trip, almost. Like, It was visually different and aesthetically different than how people would optically view her. Like, if I viewed her as skinny, she would look in the mirror and really actually see a fat person, like on some shallow house shit. Like,
that's crazy.
Not to be funny, but that's the only way I can
This is the definition. Body dysmorphic disorder is a mental disorder in which you can't stop thinking about one or more perceived defects or flaws in your appearance. A flaw that to others is either minor or not observable, but you feel so ashamed and anxious that you may avoid many social situations.
Yeah. And it's really, really, really damaging. And I think that women with body dysmorphia or anorexia
it really is.
Will easily get into bulimia or vice versa, because all three of those disorders go hand in hand. The more you hate yourself and the more you hate your self-image, the more you'll try and change that, so the throwing up comes into place. And then the more you throw up, the more you'll see that you lost weight. So that's when the anorexia and the starving yourself comes into place. And then it just becomes a vicious three-way cycle.
And and I'm a strong believer in you should always be yourself, and it takes away from being yourself. Like, you're fighting against that and trying to please others. And when you're living to please other people and you're not comfortable in your own skin, like, what life is that? Like, you're going to go through your life trying to please other people. You know what I mean? Exactly. You are in your shoes, in your skin for the rest of your life, and you're walking around trying to please other people. Think about how much wasted energy that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when you should just be yourself, and if people don't fuck with it, then fuck them. That's how I feel about it. Holy shit.
If you ain't fucking with me, fuck you.
That shit's gonna hurt.
Shu just lost his thumb, but he's all good now.
But have you become a little bit more self-confident with your body?
A little bit. I mean, enough to the point where I'm not making myself throw up anymore or taking laxatives. So it's definitely improved, but it's not to the point where I'd like it to be yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you think that since we're in a relationship that that's something that I should be motivated to help?
How they, you know what I mean? Like,
you'd be surprised about how far unconditional love goes, bro.
It comes with the negative. The positive comes with the negative. So
even bro, I've had girls that have dated me that have dealt with every mental breakdown that I've ever had in my life.
Same.
Held me in their arms while I punched the shit out of walls. You feel me? And damn near broke my knuckles. And have stayed in the bathroom with me while I self-harmed and just listened to music with me and shit like that. You feel me? And it's people like that, bro, that will really change you and will really make you see how much you are worth. Because even if the relationship does work out, or if you fucked up the relationship, you get to look back and be like, that person helped me through this and loved me so much that they stayed with me through this phase.
If they weren't in that picture with you, or it was somebody else that didn't want to do that, you'd be more fucked up today.
Yeah, I wouldn't have healed.
Right? It was a healing. It's all like it's a process, you know.
And that's what I try to do for my girlfriend. Like, I really
bring the best out in them and make them the best version of themselves that they can possibly be.
I can tell you right now, bro, every time I see Kayla in a bad mood, or every time even if I feel like she's doubting herself or her self-image, I feel obligated for myself, not because she tells me to remind her that she's beautiful, she is valued, not only from a physical standpoint, but from...
And this is the reflection we get. That's amazing.
You feel me? Like, I love seeing her smile, you feel me? And I love the fact that...
Clap it up, man.
I love the fact that not only can I make her smile, but when I tell her...
We got any kissy ones?
Please don't do the kissing.
Only boss moves are being made here.
Hey, but nah, like, even when I see her smile because I compliment her, or when I see her notice things about herself that I'm starting to notice, it makes me happy, because I know that she's taking what I say into value and into consideration.
Right.
And I tell her all the time, like, no matter what decision we make, your opinion is valued. I don't ever, and excuse me, like I'm saying, like, not even from a body perspective, bro. Like, I love how she thinks mentally. So I ask her her opinion on my music, on what I should spend on money, like when it comes to my life decisions.
Right.
Because not only is she someone who's beautiful outside to me, I think she's smart. I think she's intelligent, and I know a lot about her life. And I know that for a long time she has been told by people that she's not smart, that she's not intelligent, that she's not beautiful, that she's not this.
And those opinions don't matter.
I've literally had her tell me to my face that she thinks she's a bad person, and then in the same light, we've witnessed her feed a homeless person.
And that's fucked up, because I think a lot of mental illnesses come from the stigma we get from other people.
Yeah.
Right? Telling us, like, you're not this, you're not that. Mm-hmm. Like, well, fuck you. Like, you don't
You'd be
know.
surprised by how many people have borderline personality disorder based off the fact that they want to fit in, but they can't, so they have to make up different personas in their own life. You feel me? Actors, singers. The fact that they're under so much pressure psychologically fucks them up, so they become someone else. That's why I find it very, 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 very important to have a rap name that's close to your government name. Like, my rap name is Hendo, my last name is Henderson. You feel me? I'm not gonna say your government name because you be talking about
but you know it is.
Exactly. And bro, Vince Staples' actual name is Vince Staples. You feel me? Like, that's so hard. That's such a dope rap name and an actual dope
Kendrick Lamar
name.
Duckworth.
You feel me? Fucking who else?
Jermaine Cole.
I go by my real name too.
Yup, Craig Lynch, bro. He goes by his real name.
Craig Lynch.
Ja Rule, my nigga, Jeffrey Atkins. That's crazy.
Joel Ortiz.
Exactly.
That's why
Eminem.
I just think my name can't be K-Swiss.
Why? Because your name is Kayla.
Yeah, unless you just got a crazy name. You don't want to...
Bro, you know what makes me mad about Tory Lane's actual rap name is the fact that he wanted people to call him Notorious. Definitely making some real...
About using your name, the thing about using your name, you stamp your name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing that you go to the grave with is your name. Like, when you use your name and your name is credit anywhere, when you can just go and you don't have to really explain who you are.
You guys are making me laugh. I'm thinking of all the dumbass names I used to come up with, like my old rap names.
Bro,
and
my
shit.
old rap name was Unigo.
Like, I'm about to start using my name again.
Yes. Shit is horrible.
So you notice after a while, you know, people that really get in the game and start really
suicide.
Like Jay-Z, when you look at Jay-Z and you look at Diddy and stuff like that, like even 50, like after a while you want people to know your real name because your real name is important, or you would get stuck with using this fictitious name for the rest of your life.
Right.
That make you go crazy.
But look at Ice-T and look at people like that that's doing he on that TV show when they gotta say Ice T.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like LL Cool J. When you get stuck with them names, you know it's hard. But if you can use your name, it's nothing like stamping your own name.
Word up. But with this whole body dysmorphia thing and with this bulimia thing, I think that the fact that so many women suffer from it
it's not to be taken lightly.
It's not to be taken lightly.
Very serious.
Because women are part of our youth, bro. The biggest part of our youth because they make other youth. You feel me? We need the biggest part. Yeah. We need to understand as young men and as men in general that women are not to be taken lightly. That even though a woman can do as many things as a man can,
I would argue that's wrong.
Anyway, anything the fact that
other than physical performance, I mean, and they've already proven that they can outdo us on that too.
Like, we had this conversation last week.
Sure, women are born not physically as strong because of testosterone and estrogen. Is that really the only difference? I think it is,
that is
right?
the only difference, yeah.
They could do anything we could do.
Yeah.
We could have a woman president.
Uh-huh.
We could, you know what I mean? I'm not about to sit here and bash women and say they can't do what we can do. They could do it.
Maybe they can't do it onto the level that we can because I don't know a lot of 300-pound bodybuilding women. You feel me? But
I don't think women are as confident as men sometimes. But I think that hinders their success.
I think they're more confident than us. Actually,
it depends. It's situational. I think they're more emotional. So I think when they go through certain life experiences, they get broken down easier. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, but then
I can
fight
argue that
harder.
they're mentally stronger.
Yeah, they fight harder.
Yeah, they do fight harder.
Like when I look for,
maybe they go through more shit and they just
even
turn it into soul music. And
but the thing of a lot of about like the police officers and the CEOs and and stuff like that, they have something to prove because of the fact that we looking like I'll try them,
right?
So they feel as though they have something to prove, but like
because the man is the man and the woman is the
woman,
so they feel like
and then when you're dealing with men, and you have to tell a man that he has to do something,
right?
And men already used to females not telling them they have to do what it is they have to do,
right?
So that's why a lot of the females, feel as though they have something to prove, but when it comes to like me, even in business, like if I really want something done, like as far as like if I'm looking for, like I said, a assistant. If I'm looking for an assistant, I would want a female,
right?
Because for one, I know that once she get these jobs or whatever, she's not trying to be me.
Right.
She's not worried about taking my spot. She worried about doing her job. A man is always worried about what he's doing to elevate himself. Like, what can I do to get his position? Or
compared to other men, right?
Right.
It's a fucking
situations. They have a lot to prove. That's why we was talking last week, and we was talking.
Holy shit,
bro! You have no idea.
Oh my god!
I'm telling you, dog. On a sexual level, on a social level, on a business level, on a physical level, on a beauty level, women are always competing with women more because, bro. I'm 135 pounds. You're what? 210?
But I always said that.
I don't feel no competition with you as a physique thing. I want to get bigger because I'm tired of being skinny, not because I see your body. You feel me? Like, you don't make me jealous. You don't intimidate me as a man.
Nah.
North doesn't intimidate me.
Well, it doesn't have to be jealousy. You could use it as like, you could get inspired off it. Like, I used to work out in the gym and see dudes that were fucking huge, and I'm like, yo, like that's my competition. Like I gotta beat this dude.
But women, they think of other women as competition in a vindictive manner.
I know a lot of men too. No, I do agree. Women have more. I wouldn't say. I don't think I would necessarily put it as they have more competitive nature than men. But I do think women they do compete with each other more. I don't word it like that.
Well,
though. I know a lot of men that
the way you just described it,
right.
When it comes to a competitive nature, men has the competitive nature.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
With anything.
They have that bone in their body. They're just
with
fucking,
anything. I think with females, it's towards each other because when you look at
it is. Yep.
When you look at everything a man do, like when we do stuff like the way we dress and the cologne and the car,
you just got to be the best.
Everything, but everything is really for the females. We do stuff for them. Everything that we do is for them. And then when the females get dressed, they get dressed. It's not for us. It's for the women.
It's not.
They get dressed.
I don't think my
No, listen. I'm about to bring. Listen,
You're so right.
The reason why I say it's for them.
I don't think you've ever dressed to impress me.
No,
ever.
he's the best point.
It be for women because when they get dressed, they always think of what another female is going to say.
Female. So that's why they're dressing sluttier and sluttier, and they're like, all right.
Shout out the cats. We got microphones falling in.
No,
She's a slut. I'm the best slut.
One thing I can say is, like when we do, like, so let's say when we go out, we go out to look for females. We get dressed for the females and all that. Well, this is another reason too, because I get parties and and stuff like that, and I always tell my security, if a female start bickering like anything, like something don't look right, they have to go. Them and the whole squad gotta go.
Right.
Because the mentality they got when they leave out. Because one thing I said with us,
bring each other down. It's all negative.
But we'll call each other and say, "Yo, we going out as bitches at such and such." But females that say, "We're going to get dressed. We're going to go here, and if a bitch say something, we're going to kick their ass."
Right.
You've never done that, babe?
No.
Yeah. You've never had that mentality?
They are really
they don't come out for us.
Women are so hostile.
They don't come out for us though. They come out for each other
all the time, and they're like, wait,
oh my fucking God.
He's about to get on his knees. I'm about to back up.
I like
quick.
it's coming. It's coming.
Funny as shit.
Nah, it doesn't make you a weak man to talk sweet to your girl.
Nah, not at all.
That makes you a real dude in my
No, that's what I said. The only person that a king bows down to is his queen.
His queen.
Right, exactly.
But next topic, we're gonna talk about what is 5'9" in there. Kendrick.
100% because they exactly
that they describe the definition.
Imaginative and beautiful way. I think it's beautiful. I don't know if everybody agrees, but I think it's beautiful when they make the music they make. It's very like Kendrick's one of the most imaginative artists. Like he takes you, like I say, he paints a perfect picture. He takes you to a certain world.
I wouldn't call that imaginative.
Like everybody shits on. Well, not everybody actually. A lot of people fuck with it, but you don't like KOD. I think he took us to a whole different like world. You know what I mean? When I listen to it, the music, not even on some hip hop shit. Just for example. I think the music we were just listening to on the way up.
Shit was
shout out to there's this group. I think it's like an indie. I don't know what you would call the genre. I'm guessing like electro indie pop or some shit, bro.
And how he like even his flow to some of the like compositions and riffs that Slipknot does and the drum patterns are metal songs like a rap artist, but they're so fucking great. And I think crazy. Like he attacked most definitely.
And you know.
Now I think the reason why that word is affiliated with rappers of that nature is because of the fact that majority of them painted pictures. Like they told stories. It was like
they really tuned you in.
Yeah.
Like a Big L or like a Rakim.
Yeah, because they told like
Cool G rap.
Right. I was about to say like
God Allah.
But you look at a lot of them songs, like when they sit down and write, they think
followed up by like Biggie. Really do that well, like someone that's even influenced by a Nas, like a J. Cole. That's why I respect him so much.
J. Cole is definitely
Kendrick.
Yeah.
He if as much as I don't like KOD,
Cole is a poet, bro.
He can rap his ass off. I'm not gonna.
It's not even about rapping your ass off, though. It's not like
he's super imaginative.
Like,
bro. As much as I don't like the song "Wet Dreams," from a lyrical standpoint, from a technical standpoint,
it makes you think back to the time where you first got laid, right? Yeah. Does it not? Right?
Yeah,
I
you
hate
can't
that.
compare them.
They're two different. They're two different people.
By definition,
I think Pac was definitely a little deeper when it came.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
Brenda's baby and
right.
You know what I mean? Like.
That's what I say. Even when it comes to that, like the stories and the thing about,
I think he was. Pac told
Jay-Z makes me feel that way all the time.
The ones who put
all my like, it doesn't make you weak or a bitch at all. Like, actually, I just read a study the other day. If you're a person that cries, followers and listeners,
legit. And then from like an actual factual standpoint, I started looking up to him. And then I went back and watched the movie and saw how he was assassinated by his own people and saw the things that he tried to do. And it literally almost made me cry, bro, because Malcolm X, to me, in my own personal opinion, is when I read about him.
I'm like, get the
And something that
Yeah.
out of the norm or something
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
could relate to,
Yeah.
we're gonna listen to you.
Yeah, we're gonna listen. The
You know
thing
what I mean?
about it is, and I tell people, I had this guy up here before, and he did Christian rap, and he was
Right.
Bro,
But-
wearing a Tom
But if
Ford
if
suit
if
and a
you're wearing
Mercedes,
if you're
I don't-
wearing,
about it is
I don't get in people talking religion because like literally like people have.
You was
Yeah.
mad as fuck.
I was
huh?
like motherfucker, like I can't ever say it.
Yeah.
I've heard bars that Logic has wrote, J. Cole has wrote, M has wrote, like shit that I have said, and I'm like fuck. So I can't use it because.
you gotta be
I
better
mean, to
than
the
him.
world, I'm going to be a copycat now because I didn't release that shit first. I may have wrote it first, but now to the world, I'm a copycat, so I can't do it.
That's why I always keep.
You know what I mean?
That's why I always got songs like he talks about how he's a 2-time felon. He's gone on missions with niggas.
So you're saying he can do that?
I'm saying that I'm like first day out where he completely.
I'm just saying, like, pound for pound, there's not a person on this planet that can balance doing all of it. What picture of something? Then you're.
Is that why
cool,
people
you're a
fuck with
lyricist.
Prodigy so hard? Because I think he's so bad.
Yeah, I mean,
type of rapper. Like, yeah, that's not rap.
right. Riding in the car with my mom, listening to fucking Lauryn Hill and A Tribe Called Quest and
So was
fucking.
That word lyricist is like,
If you do it so whack, then shut the fuck. Don't look at it. I'll catch you up to speed on B.O.B. That's for another day. Shout out to B.O.B. for being
we
one of the
pretend that
realest
airplanes and nice
motherfuckers.
guys-
Him like that. I was trying to say but yo, he's over here gonna spit up his water. Yo, listen, let me tell you something. So in the
you had a
comments,
feeling that was about to happen.
this dude tried to tell me Vanilla Ice was better than B.O.B. and I went on. Stop
what?
yourself.
He did?
I'm like, no. Like, Vanilla Ice is so whack. On Facebook.
You were supposed to block them.
Yeah,
But I can't because if they're listening right now, we have listening to it the whole rest of the day. That corny, bro. He being a white dude, like I don't want to claim
he
him.
said being a white dude.
I don't want to claim Vanilla
But let's
Ice.
look at
being a. Ice got bars, bro.
Listen,
Yo, but Vanilla. He's got like with Rick Rubin on Marshall Mathers LP too. I don't know if you heard, but
you talking about
me just lose it. He
hard
did the one shit.
Yeah.
Things that motivates me to grind every day. Cause you know what I mean. That.
not 1 mil in one shot. You feel me?
$100,000 into not stopping. So like my thing is like I want to invest in my business stocks. Point where I can manage my report to me and get like they have $1 million and they're like, yo, I got
then
and they spend it. And
Yeah, they
think
spend it.
think that once they get that $1 million, they're always going to get that $1 million.
yeah,
You have to put it to work
right.
because if you don't, especially when it's coming from somewhere else, like if other people are giving you that, I didn't even ask you where's that $1 million
Right,
coming
where it
from?
come from,
Because
right.
like Jay-Z came in the game and had his own $1 million to invest, or I don't know, was it $100,000?
Yeah.
But like he had his own money to invest, so like nobody was worried. But when other people are dumping money into you, you better
Yeah.
make sure that shit grows. You know,
yeah,
what
it's
I mean?
like, do I owe this $1 million?
'Cause that's not
or
your money.
Is this an advance? Like, what is?
An advance is not your money.
Yeah,
It's not your money. If someone hands me a $50,000 to $100,000 advance right now, I promise you we're gonna make it. I promise you on God. I promise you.
yeah,
If someone handed me that,
yeah.
we're gonna make
I would
it.
only need like
We're
I don't
gonna
understand
make
why
it.
these rappers be making like $6 million.
'Cause I can live rough, bro.
Like
I can live rough. I'm a fucking nut when it comes to like survival mode, and I've already done it. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why, but I'm gonna try to explain it the best way that I can. I've put myself in shitty situations before, just so I know what it's like. So I know I never want to get back to that, and I'll know how to survive if I ever get to that. Right? I know how to live off of 30, 40, 50 bucks in a week.
Yeah.
I know how to do that when it comes to food. Survival mode, bro. It's real. When you
a lot of people don't.
They don't know how to do that.
Survival. Because I'll
Yeah.
take, and I always tell people this, like even females like that spend money crazy. Like I try to tell people, like you have to budget. Like if you getting money, like me when I DJ, if I'm DJing and I'm charging $350 to DJ. Every night when I get done DJing, I'm gonna take that 300 and I'm gonna put that 300 up. Then I'm gonna take that 50 and put that 50 in my pocket.
Right.
You
Exactly.
feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like that way, I'm keeping the majority of my money.
And a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, they just came out with those new kicks. They're like $220. Let me just go get it because I'll get the $350 next week."
Right.
You can't think like that.
Right.
Fuck
you have
that.
to try to think about.
Start out small, let this money grow into something big, and then when you have hundreds of thousands of dollars, then you go get the kicks because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's what nobody gets.
Yeah,
Everybody
and
wants to
that's
look fly now, but most people that look fly now are broke as fuck.
Yeah.
And then the people that are really smart and wealthy, they're saving their money.
Yeah, and that's what I do. Like when I get certain money, like I said, like I'll take. Because you want to eat, you want to do certain stuff, but then certain stuff you just got to be like, it's not a must that I get this right now.
It's discipline and self-control.
Yeah, so then as though this is not a must, or that's going to cost me, $100 to do this. All right, well, I got you next week. I'm gonna see you because I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna still put that majority of my money up, and that 50 that I put, I'll see you next week, and I'll give you that because I'm still focused on me. I don't want to get off of that me putting this certain amount of money up.
You should never hurt yourself because you want to buy a pair of sneakers or you want to buy. Like my golden rule I stick to. I had a real. I think he was a 7-figure earner. I sat down and talked to this dude one time, and he told me, if you can't buy it, because a lot of people say if you can't buy it 3 times or whatever. This dude said if you can't buy it 10 times, don't buy it.
Right.
So if you see a $200 pair of sneakers. If you can't spend $2,000 on sneakers that day, don't do it. Don't do it. You know what I mean?
It's
and that's a golden rule to stick by. You'll have a lot of money saved. It's not what you make; it's what you save.
That's definitely something because I used to tell people like when I have I had in my van before I was in the accident. I had a total top, a van, and they like, yo. When you gonna get rid of that van? I said never. I had no plan. Like if I wouldn't have gotten
when
the
it
accident,
doesn't work anymore.
When it doesn't work no more, I like this van. Get me everywhere I gotta go. I'm cool, and I'm still putting money up every week.
Think about it. You'd only get rid of that van just to impress other people.
Only to impress other people.
That's it. If it still serves its same purpose that the other car would, what the fuck is the point of getting rid of it?
Right.
We're living in a society where we have to please other people. We don't have to, but we want to, right?
Yeah, that's what we choose to do.
Why are we going to make decisions on our own life based off of how other people
But
feel
that's why people get $1 million and then the $1 million will be gone because you're thinking about
about other people.
How to spend the $1 million that you have.
Right.
Not how
I got to look fly out here. I got to show them go make that $1 million turn into $10 million and then show us what kind of millionaire you really are.
I'm gonna buy a chain. If I get a chain, I might get a crazy gold chain with no ice.
Right.
I don't need it.
Right.
I got $1 million.
Right. Yeah.
Now when I turn that $1 million into $10 million, you might see me like, okay, now I can grab another joint with the ice and stuff in there because I know I'm set.
I'm so fortunate. Like I honestly thank God that I have the mindset that I have at the age that I have it because there's a lot of people like a lot of my peers they don't think the same.
Right.
They want to go spend it, and it's not even about age, but it's just like a lot of people just don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're going to be in fucked up situations. My thing is like I'd rather suffer now while I'm in my 20s and 30s, and then go live it up the rest of my life, but. These people spending money now.
Have you ever brought something?
They're going to be hurting the rest of their lives.
Regretted the purchase that you.
Only a few times.
Yeah, you got to learn. Listen, I've definitely spent money on some shit before, and I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? You know what I mean? I'm not perfect. I had to acquire. I didn't acquire that mindset like just as a teenager.
It's a few pieces of clothing that I literally could live without that I don't wear no more.
Right.
Honestly, like fucking. That's the only thing I really spend money on is like clothes and shit, just because I like looking good. But as far as everything else, bro, like I'm trying to have generational wealth, like, and you can't have generational wealth if you spend all your fucking bread on dumb miscellaneous shit. Right. But I think as far as like this conversation, goes,
Nas said, that buck that bought a bottle could have struck the lotto.
Boom, exactly.
Right?
But I think as far as this conversation goes, I think that we all have the same mindset, and I like that because I like being around like-minded people.
Right.
But let's get into these shout-outs, and then we can close everything. Yeah, yo, shout out to Bugs, man. He got a show coming up, I think on the 15th or the 14th or something like that.
This Wednesday, right?
This Wednesday
Up.
at Voltage, Philly. Make sure y'all go and check that out. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, come out. Everybody come out.
My boy Joe, a.k.a. Cassius, is going to be there. I think Mozzie going to be there. Bugs and his whole clique with Bravo is going to be there.
Bugs just dropped a dope joint.
He did,
on
right?
SoundCloud.
Yeah, he did.
Cassius just dropped a dope
Ties Everywhere, right?
video. Yup.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Ib. He just dropped a video with Young and Fly in New York. And that shit is a movie. DJ Young Hitters in it. It's fire. You feel me? Go check that out. He did it with 2020 Vision. Shout out to Kid Steez. My man's just dropped the video. I see you, bro. You feel me? Like, go follow all these dudes. You feel me? Like, they all make dope music. Bugs is, like, at the core of, like, making people unify right now. Like, I've met so many cool people through him. Jules, J. Craig, Mozzie, Syph Dublin, even Nick to a certain degree. So, like, y'all got to check out Bugs. We about to be the wave. You feel me? And, that's all I've really got. You feel me? You want to promote our page?
Yeah, everybody right now, stop what you're doing. Go follow on Instagram, _connection_radio show. Remember, guys, we the plug. We'll be here every Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m., where you can find us on The Connection talking about, the connection between hip-hop and mental health. Just want to let everybody out there know that you're not alone. That's why we made this show, Hendo and I. And we want people to start spreading their message, getting up here on the show with us, telling their story. That's what it's all about, you know what I mean? Like, this shit really is like a release. You know what I mean? You really feel good when you get up here. Like, not a lot of people are blessed. Like
Nick said, everybody's here for you. I'm here for you. Everybody can hit my inbox whenever they feel like it. I'm not shy. Whenever.
2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I don't give a fuck. If you're going through it, if you got some shit going on, please hit me up.
Yeah. And I think that's all we got for tonight, man. Catch us next week. We'll have some topics up for y'all on Facebook by the end of the week. And don't forget, this is The Connection, where we connect the dots between mental health.
Everybody.
Oh, shit. But now, on the last note, we're going to have shirts. We're going to have merch soon, hats, and everything like that. So
yeah, stay tuned for that. We got the apparel coming up.